Handling phone leads with eLead. The phone rings and you pick up. There are two options for sales customers. Either it's a pre-existing lead or it's a new one. In the initial conversation, you need to find out whether the customers are already working with someone, or if it's the first time they have been approached by a sales representative. Pre-existing leads. First, pick up the call. Introduce yourself and volunteer to assist them. Get their names. They will mention the vehicle or vehicles they are interested in, since they'll be curious to know whether the units are available or not. You can start the conversation with something like,
"Good morning. Thanks for calling Grand Motor Cars. My name is. How can I assist you today?"
While the customer mentions what vehicle they are looking for, you can do a quick search on Grand Motor Cars website to make sure the car is still available. When you find the car, you can open it. From this window, you have some information the customer may be interested in, such as engine size, certain features, and the vehicle's history. Stay logged in to eleadcrm.com. You'll be presented with the top bar and the left bar at all times. On the top bar, you'll see the links to Home, Add, Search, Leads, and text messages. In this section, we'll be focusing on the Add button. While on the phone with the customer, click on the Add button. On this screen, you'll be presented with the ability to enter the customer's name, last name, business, email address, zip code, and telephone numbers. You can search the customer by entering their names, or by entering the phone number that you see on the screen of your telephone. Click on the little magnifying glass with the search link to look for all possible matches. Through the search results list, you can confirm if the customer had previously been added to the company's database. If the customer was already added to the system, their names will be prompted in a blue link. Click on their name and a separate window will pop up. The new window will present all the data available on the prospect: name, address, email, primary salesperson, lead provider, time lead was generated, and if there's some, the activity history. It is important that you find out if they have already been in talks with somebody else. If the customer has already been assigned to a different sales representative before, you can see this on the customer's pop-up window. Let the customer know. You can say something like,
"Oh, it looks like my colleague has been helping you. Please, let me see if they are available so that I can transfer the call to them."
Make sure they are available before transferring the call. If the assigned salesperson isn't available, try to find out whether there's something you can assist them with. You can either take a note and/or tell the customer that their rep will contact them later. Talk to the primary salesperson and have them communicate with the customer, or simply pass on any relevant information of what you talked about with their potential buyer. New leads. For a first-time customer, the process is much simpler. Similarly, you'll have to pick up the call, introduce yourself to the customer, and volunteer to assist them and get their names. On the top bar of eLead, click on the Add icon. Enter the customer's name, last name, and phone number. Then click on the little magnifying glass with the search link to look for all possible matches. Because it's a new lead, there'll be no matches. Go to the right side of the screen and click on Add New Sales Customer. After clicking on Add New Sales Customer, you'll be presented with a new screen containing 4 sections: Customer Information, Vehicle of Interest, Opportunity Information, and Trade-in Information. On the Customer Information section, you'll see the boxes for customer's name, last name, nickname, address, phone numbers, email address, birthday, dealer ID, and SSN. During the initial conversation, not everything has to be filled out. Remember, the main goal of this call is to get to set up an appointment. Let's move on to the Vehicle of Interest section. Ask the customer about the vehicle they are interested in while you are talking to the customer. Go to the website and find the car they are looking for. Open the vehicle. Copy the VIN or stock number from the website. And go back to eLead. Paste it on the VIN box or stock number, respectively. The year, make and model will auto-populate. If the customer has a trade-in car, you can go ahead and populate the trade-in information section. Otherwise, you can move on to the opportunity information. Finally, we go to the opportunity information section. Pick yourself as the assigned salesperson. Next, on the type box, search for phone up. Enter the lead source. Since we focused on new phone leads for this example, make sure New is selected on the status box. Date and time in will normally auto-populate. Otherwise, enter the day and time when the interaction with the customer occurred. Next, move on to the next activity box. If you manage to get an appointment, click on the drop box and select Appointment. Then pick a date and time. If the customer didn't confirm the appointment, then select Phone Follow-up and pick a date and time you'd like to be reminded to call the customer again. Before finishing adding the new lead, it is advised to leave relevant comments that will highlight what your conversation with the customer was about. Your goal at the end of the conversation is to convince the customer to schedule an appointment. If the customer doesn't schedule the appointment, ask them when it would be a good time for you to call them again. Schedule a next activity so you can be reminded to follow up with them. Work on your lead until you complete the sale. Repeat the process each time, and you'll become very successful in the sales field.